want to apologize. We didn't think it was going to take about 5 or 10 minutes, but it took a little bit longer. So we want to thank you for your patience. Next time, we need a motion that I'll go back to open session.
No, we can just close session. We're good. Sorry, I misspoke.
Okay. So we have two motions that we wanted to, not two motions, two items that we wanted to speak of before we move forward. At this time, Keisha Gill.
On October 30th, 2023, a petition for a contested case hearing was filed in the Office of Administrative Hearings on behalf of Polk County School students CW. On Tuesday, December the 12th, 2023, the Polk County Board of Education approved a settlement agreement in this matter. The cost of the settlement agreement is $10,000 to be used towards the students' educational services.
Second.
Oh, no motion.
No motion.
We're just reading into the minutes. This one's a motion.
Yes. Okay, so the next item we have is going to be presented by Ms. Rosa McCray.
I move that the Polk County Board of Education direct its individual members to each repay to Polk County Schools in full any unauthorized compensation received to date, and to do so by 5:00 p.m. on June 30th, 2024.
Second.
Motion on the floor to approve the repayment of any unauthorized bonuses to be paid by June 2024. Then second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So at this time, I turn this part of the session, meeting over to our Attorney Grace.
Good evening. So it is December, so it is the board's organizational meeting to determine its next board chair and vice chair. A quorum has been established, and all 5 board members are present. Polk County Board of Education Policy 2200, election of officers, organization of the board, states the board will hold an organizational meeting for the election and qualification of officers at its regularly scheduled December meeting. With that said, I now open the floor for nominations for the office of chair.
Well, I'd like to take a moment, make a statement. I would like to know anybody that's interested in becoming the next chair, to state the reason why they want to be chair, so they can be nominated.
Any nominations?
Yes. I nominate Ms. Catherine Blue for chair of Polk County School Board.
Any other nominations on the floor? Okay, hearing none, we'll now vote on the nomination for the position of board chair. All those in favor of Catherine Blue as board chair indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Okay. Congratulations, Catherine. You were the board chair for this committee. All right. So now we will turn it over for the position of vice chair. Do I have any nominations for that position on the floor?
I nominate Rosa McCray.
So Keisha has nominated Ms. McCray. Are there any other nominations for the position of vice chair? Okay, hearing none, we will now vote on the nomination for the position of vice chair. Again, all those in favor of Rosa McCray as vice chair indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right,
I would like to get a hand raised, see who voted
okay, for the position of vice chair, or vote.
for the vice chair.
Okay, all those in favor, would you please, raise your hand? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Thank you.
All right, and that concludes our election of officers. Congratulations, Catherine and Rosa. So I think we passed the gavel.
So at this time, we're gonna go into our reception.
Would Catherine like to have words?
Are you gonna switch chairs?
Yes, when you do a pass it down. I'll switch it later.
I'm just taking a picture. Oh,
No.
All right, so now you're in charge of the meeting.
All right, so at this time, we're gonna have our reception. We have food to eat, and if people that want to leave downstairs, just have a few minutes. We're gonna take, I think, about 15 or 20 minutes, and then we'll move on to the next item on the agenda. we're gonna return to open session. I know you're still eating, and that's fine, but we're gonna actually go ahead on so we can go home on tonight. So at this time, we're gonna turn this over to Dr. Shotwell, the spotlight on Cecilia.
Right, thank you, Madam Chair. It's truly a pleasure for me to introduce these next two folks because of the outstanding work that they do. First, I want to ask Mario. He was hiding up. There you are. I knew you were over there with your family and everything. Mario Malabunga. Come on up. I just want to tell you, he was one of 24 career technical education teachers that were selected to be a finalist for CTE Teacher of the Year. And it is the best awards program that I've ever been to. They had a video of each individual person. They were up there for a week and got to work and got to know each other. He says they're still in contact with one another. And the one thing that I heard was that he kept everybody together and made sure that it was going to be a fun, hard-working exercise when they got together there. But Mario started out with us through VIF, which is now called Participate. And he's been with us for 17 years. And he is writing, for those of you that don't know, he's writing and had already written most of the curriculum for drone operation for North Carolina Public Schools. And so I personally thought he should have been the CTE Teacher of the Year.
Right.
I had a $1,000 check ready to go, but he didn't call his name. So I was like, so I had to tear it up, man. I'm sorry. But listen, congratulations. You represented Hope County very, very well.
Dr. Charlotte, can I say
You
something
want to tell
about,
him anything about it?
can I say something about Mario? real
Sure.
quick? You wouldn't believe, he's a drone instructor, and he's been with us for a long time. But I was at an event, a couple of months ago, and this guy was playing in the band, playing the guitar and singing. I was like, oh my God, he's just a jack of all trades. So from one end of the continuum to the other.
Rock and roll?
Yep.
I hear you.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Anything you want to say to the group?
Yes. And yeah, I've been here for quite a long time. I started actually, if everybody knows, I started as an elementary teacher in South Hope before. And I would like to thank my former principal there, especially Dr. Tonya Jacobs there, who believed in me, and we started the rewards program, the STEM, and then I got moved to Sandy Grove, and now the high school. So thank you for all for all the former principals, administration, central people here, and everybody who believed in me and in the program. And thank you for believing in kids so that they can do well here in Hope County.
And then I was going to tell you something else too, and this is something you definitely want to clap about. He just had 5 of his students pass the FAA drone pilot's license.
Again, for my CTE family, especially Dr. Lena Chase for supporting the program, because without her support, we will our program here in the CTE for drones and aviation will not be successful, and to everybody, especially. Thank you.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, everybody got something to eat today, so you can appreciate this next person. You know, as a superintendent, there's one thing that can get a child nutrition director rattled, and that's an annual review, even though it happens every 5 years. But she came to me, I had been here maybe less than 12 hours, and she said, I've already scheduled the AR while you're superintendent. And I was like, okay. But it's a huge thing for our child nutrition program. It's the school meals administrative review, and they focus on meal access and reimbursement, meal patterns, nutritional quality, general program compliance, and then it's organized in the 5 monitoring areas. Ms. Carter, you know you gotta come on up here while I'm talking about this stuff. I see you back there smiling and beaming. I said, the administrative reviews is 5 areas that they look at: access, reimbursement, nutrition quality, meal patterns, resource management, general program compliance, and other federal reviews. The thing that I want to say about this, what they did is they did site reviews at the central office, the work that we do, Hope High, Sandy Grove Middle, and Sandy Grove Elementary. And it was absolutely amazing. It's a 3-day process. I'm sure all your managers were stressed because you're like, this is big, this is big. But I've been through 4 ARs, and I can tell you without a doubt, the best one that I have ever seen is right here. Because they had to come up with 2 things to put in her annual review, otherwise they wouldn't have had anything. And she was stressing me out. Well, I'm gonna tell, no, see, I got you now. I'm telling everything. All right? But she was, I'm just worried. I said, you know what, you've been through how many of these before? Oh, about 5 or 6. You're gonna be fine. And I'm gonna tell you, I have never seen an annual review like I have for Ms. Carpenter, because it was just outstanding. And as a superintendent, I have seen in other places where the AR review is several pages long. You don't want that. Hers is front and back. And most of that was just already pre-printed stuff that's on there. So what I really want to say is, as a teacher and as a child nutrition director, over 40 years of experience with Hope County Schools, your love and your leadership is definitely seen in every meal that's served to every child in Hope County. And I know that you want to tell everybody.
Well, first of all, I want to say that this would not have happened without the wonderful team that I work with every day. And like Dr. Shotwell said, my managers and the teams that are in the schools and the office team, they are the ones that really, really work so hard along with me to make this happen. I was just very, Dr. Hunt, I'm sure he thought, is this what this was about? Because I probably stressed him out too. But but he was just sitting there in the meeting like, okay, whatever, you know, because they did have to come to the meeting with the audit team. But it was a wonderful review. I can't say enough about my school team. They were just awesome. They just did everything they were supposed to do. I want to, I think Dr. Benson left. I want to thank Dr. Benson for working so hard along with us. Ms. Bullitt is not here, so she's not here tonight. And neither is Ms. Dr. Williams. Okay, but the principals did work along with us, and they made sure their team was ready for the audit, and they did an awesome job. One of the things that I was so afraid of, and I think I had my team afraid of, was breakfast in the classroom. That's an area that I wanted for so long in Hope County, and when I finally got it, I was really, really excited about it. And we do feed so many children breakfast in the classroom, but it is very tedious and it is very difficult. And I just knew that was going to be an area that we were going to be written up, but we were not. We went through it with flying colors. They found no findings, and they went to several classrooms, didn't they, Dr.
Yes,
Shepard?
they did.
They went to several classrooms, and we were really shocked because, you know, I was just like, I was walking down the hall with them, but I wouldn't go in. I just let them go in. Dr. Shotwell went in. He wanted to see. But anyway, I just thank you all. I thank Hope County Schools. I thank my family. This is my family. I was telling one of our attorneys tonight that this is all I know. This is 46 years. I started very young, right here at Hope County High School, right out of college. I have 4 board members that came through my doors. Ruben, you were the only one.
You know you don't have to retire.
That's because you're too old. So I'm just this is home for me. I love my Hope County Schools family. I love my children. That's one thing Dr. Stockwell learned the very first day. He said, okay,
whatever, but I do love my children and I do try to provide the very best for them. So thank you, Hope County Schools family, for supporting child nutrition. I have some family members here tonight and I want to thank them for being here tonight to support me, Mr. and Mrs. Blackcliff, and thank you all. But thank you all very much for all that you do for child nutrition. It is a wonderful program and we provide for our children the very best. And so we do what we do and we love it. And I do not know, everybody said, okay, so it's 46, are you doing 50? I don't know. It's one day at a time. I still like it most days. Thank you again.
Dr. Spells, you'll be here for the next AR.
Without me.
That's what she said.
I do want to tell you something.
I'm gonna sit down.
I do want to tell you something about the AR. We were supposed to have the AR last year, and we did not have it. And so that says a lot about Hope County. I do want to say that.
At this time, we are going to go to our public comment. And I think we have one person.
We have, we have one person signed up, Iris Flowers McEldy, is that correct? You'll have 3 minutes, and I'll just call time. I better get my timer.
Hold it. Those are certificates of work that students have done in the tutoring program that I teach. Okay, I'm ready. Is there a timer somewhere so I can be a timer?
It's just me, sorry. I'll give you a warning.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Iris Flowers McEldy. I'm here this evening alongside a host of parents to praise, honor, recognize, and thank one of the leaders chosen by you to be the principal of Upchurch Elementary School, Principal Devonna McFadder Graham. We're here to publicly acknowledge, thank, and support Principal Graham as she exemplifies excellent leadership by showing what it means to serve the children. Principal Graham, who I found to be supportive, caring, and protective of the UES children, is making a positive difference in the lives of the families she serves at UES. Earlier in this year, I met with Principal Graham and proposed and offered to tutor her students in my idea of an ELA Saturday Tutoring Academy. She agreed to partner with me because she knows the benefits of extra academic support. In October, Principal Graham sent letters to every parent offering an opportunity for every child to receive free tutoring every Saturday. At that time, no other school was offering this service. We all know parental involvement is a very important part of a child's learning. This is why we're here, not just because of the parental involvement policy, because even without the policy, that's who these parents are, involved parents. As the visionary founder of the idea of Saturday Tutoring Academies, this is where I come in to support the schools and parents in their involvement of their child's learning success. As the tutor of the UES Saturday Tutoring Academy, there are 30 students currently on my roster, and I'm told there are more parents interested in the program. The parents and I are here. There is a parent and one of the students who's been in every class. The parents and I are here to show our appreciation to Principal Graham for being the first principal to offer tutoring services this early in the school year. She opens the doors on Saturdays. She greets the parents at the end of each session. But what I'm most impressed by is her attitude of servitude in that she organizes the classroom and prepares it for the children and oftentimes returns during snack time to personally hand them their snacks. That's leadership, I would say, at its best. And my conclusion is because of Principal Graham that the children have mastered 589 skills, which are in those folders that you see. They're proficient in 645 skills, and they've practiced over 1,000 skills. These are the certificates the children have earned. Again, the parents and I applaud and appreciate the leadership of Principal Graham. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for all you do that no one ever sees. We want you to know we see you and we feel your love and concern for our children. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
And I would like to you go. You go
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you so much for that. At this time, we are at the consent agenda. We have 4 items on the consent agenda on tonight. It's the minutes for October the 10th, 2023, November the 7th, and the 30th, 2023. The CCP partnership agreement and the MOU with Sand Hills Community College, school board policies first reading, and school board policies second reading. I need a motion to approve the consent agenda on tonight.
Madam Chair, I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
It has been approved in second consent agenda. Thank you. Can I I would like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda, items 1 through 4. Can you take a vote? All in favor, say aye.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay. All right, so our next item is
Everybody,
information.
wait, just, everybody in favor?
Aye.
We'll get it worked out. We got this.
Okay, next, we're gonna go to the information agenda. The first item is the month-to-date financial statement as of November the 30th, 2023. And Ms. Richardson will be giving us that information.
Good evening. To our new board chair and new vice chair. Congratulations. I'm going to stand here, I'm not gonna talk fast today. But I'm gonna go through, our budget as of November. So, like I said, our budget dropped in November, beginning of November. So now when you go down, you'll see more positives than negative. But I would like to speak on the ones that are negative. So in PRC 009, which is down the street if you're following me, that one is just state given. That's our longevity, our short-term disability, our annual leave payout. So we just clean that up as we go. The next negative, we look at PRC 20. This is our international faculty line, and what we have to do with that line is we have to convert positions from 001. So we have already started that process of converting. We converted 26 positions to actually pay for the teachers that are sitting in there, as well as the fees that we have to participate in our other VIS, our other international facility programs. So we're still waiting for them to approve that and drop that money. The next one is our PRC 29, which is our behavioral support. That money has not dropped. So we're still waiting for money to drop from DPI, from the state. Everything has not been approved. Everything has not been given to us. So it's coming in every day. So I'm having to check allotments every day to make sure what has dropped. So if we go to the second page, our 42 and 43 money has dropped, but it just dropped. So that's the reason why that one's negative. So now I'm gonna have to go ahead and budget that money into. So in the next month, it will not be negative. So if we drop down to 63, the same with that one. In 67, we have an assistant principal intern at Sturlock Elementary School, and they're paying, the state is paying for her, so we have not received that money. So we still have to pay her, but they're gonna, that's a reimbursement line. Okay, if we go to the third page, We have now moved out of state and we're now into our, program 2. And most of that has been budgeted, except for a little staff development line and a finance line. So we have to, go ahead and clean those up. So that's with 2. So now we'll move to federal. And most of our federal has dropped, but we're still waiting for some. Like the 26, PRC 26, we have just sent that. We have already have, what's in there is carryover from last year, and we just budgeted this year, so we're waiting for them to approve that. If we skip to line 4, to page 4, 82 has not dropped yet. And if you get down to the next line, which is negative, which is 171, that's ESSER 2. Those lines have to be cleaned up because we had until September to, this is September. We had to December to spend the money. We had to have it encumbered. Then now we have to make sure we spend it. So that's why we have to clean those lines up because those lines are no longer available to us. 185 has been cleaned up, but it was cleaned up in December, so that's the reason why you see that. On page 5, we are now in Fund 6 that has the next letter. That is after school daycare. And like we said from the beginning, that's just the in and out. The schools hire their after school care people. We pay them and they reimburse us. So that's always gonna be a negative until the end of the year when it's cleaned up. Our ROTC money, 301, that's the line that they send to us and we're catching up with those payments now. And 372 is gone. So that one is, we had some carryover and then we had some taken out. So that one just has to be cleaned up for this year. But all that money has been spent. We didn't lose any of that money. So when we go to page 6, everything is good there. And for the rest of the page, everything is good. So just those lines that you see are negative, I wanted to try to give you an explanation. So right now, the only budget that we're really, like we said, we know we lost 13 positions and hopefully we haven't heard anything else. So hopefully that's all they're gonna take from us. But we just have to be vigilant over all of the funds that has been given to Hope County Schools. Any questions? Thank you.
The second item on the information is the camera installation and switches bid at Hope County High School. Dr. Ramsey.
Good evening. So I have come before you to share the information about the camera install bid. So there are 2 bids that we received. One was from Intellicom and the other from Encore. So after looking at both Intellicom and Encore, there was about a $74,000 difference between the 2 bids. And even with that difference, there were some components that Intellicom, which was the bid that came in at the higher rate, was not able to match for Encore. Between those 2, or between the differences, I think the most important difference was that there was a switch that we were requesting from both vendors, but Encore was able to provide the desired Meraki switch, was a 390 switch, which is a more current switch than the 350, Meraki 350 that Intellicom would provide for us. And then the other piece that Meraki was not able to provide that Encore was able to provide was the conduit and the labor associated with that. So for that reason, we were recommending the Encore, which is more of a turnkey project, with the exception of removing the existing cameras, which we decided that that's something that we want to do because we will be holding on to those cameras that are in good shape that we will be taking down and putting in other areas. That said, again, the recommendation would be for Encore as compared to Intellicom. Questions?
I have a question, Dawn. Yes, ma'am. Where would we would be putting the cameras that will be hopefully working, that we're taking down? Where would we be putting them? Do you know?
So, Mr. Nix, who does all of our camera fixes and keeps up with our camera, has outlined for every campus areas that, you know, we can put some additional camera. In fact, he and I just had a conversation about Sandy Grove Elementary. We've got a camera pointing out to the front of the campus, but it's pointing more to the left, or the kitchen area, and not to the right. And so there's a part that's uncovered there. We've got some space on that DVR, so we can put some additional cameras out there. So we've just talked about some places that we can take those cameras and use them, and then upgrade some of the cameras that don't have as good quality. So replacing and maybe adding some additional cameras.
Thank you.
So are we coming back to vote on this next meeting? Are we gonna vote
Yes.
on it? Okay.
Yes, that's the intent.
So, next we have information on materials and testing and special inspection services, company for the high school project.
Good evening. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for the opportunity. We do have Mr. Barath with us, he's not physically present in the audience, but he is virtual. So you will be hearing from Mr. Barath, who is the project manager on our behalf on the construction project that is taking place. And he will be reviewing both the special materials as well as the plat approval that's in the action items there. So he'll be giving you whenever it comes to that part as well. So, but at this time, unfortunately, you will not be able to see Mr. Barath on the screen, but you can hear him. So at this time, we will pass it over to Mr. Barath.
Thank you, Dr. Hunt. And it's probably better that y'all can't see me. I like this format. Good evening, everybody. Dr. Spells, welcome. And I look forward to continuing to work with you. That the great work that been doing with Dr. Shotwell and Dr. Hunt on this project, getting it moving forward and out of the ground. And at the request of Dr. Shotwell and Dr. Hunt, I was asked to put together some information on the material testing and special inspections requirement. Again, realizing it's been a long time since a new school or major construction has been done with Hope County Schools. This information, the attachments, is to give you just the information regarding the requirement for it. To lead off with, it is a North Carolina building code requirement that's outlined in Chapter 17 that sets all the requirements for special inspections and testing of the systems. Chapter 17 does require this, the responsibilities being upon the school district to procure a company to conduct these specific inspections and testings, and also that these systems are really for the purpose of confirming the compliance of critical elements of the building that's under construction. These would be the structure of the building, in this case, the steel, the polycore planks, the masonry as well, the earthwork and compaction tests and trenching, fire protection, your electrical systems and some mechanical systems for trenching in and backfilling for compaction. And that these are all conducted through trained inspectors who will be out there to observe and in some cases take samples for testing like concrete, mortar, grout, earth compaction, etc. So in conjunction with the requirement of the building code in the project manual, there's a specific section that goes through the checklist and identifies the requirements for special inspection, which elements and items are to be inspected and how, periodically, continuously, or through sampling. In assisting with this project, along with Dr. Hunt, we put together a selection process to comply through pretty much the qualification base. It's the same that you went through for selection of the architect. And so we've put out advertisements as posted on your website. It was also, I contacted numerous companies that conduct these services that are in the region and try to get information out there and the opportunity for them to respond. And so we're in the process now of that. And just as with any other qualification-based selection, there's a ranking of the respondents, and then you engage with the top ranked one to seek a proposal and negotiate. And should not be able to come to an agreement for a contract with them, you move on to the next ranked company and begin a process with them. As I had attached to the summary here, you have two documents. One is a very good, concise and descriptive requirement that was put out by the North Carolina Department of Administration State Construction Office. And also for your reference is a copy of that section from the project manual. So sorry to have spoken quick and fast, but if there's any questions, I'm happy to respond to any of them as best I can.
Thank you, Mr. Barrett. Do y'all have any questions? No questions. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I think you're gonna stay with us, and that's the end of the information items. We're gonna go to action items.
Yes, ma'am.
So the first one is the plat approval for the Hokai School Building Project.
You're back up, Mr. Barath.
So with the project and the site closure of the road by the town of Rayford, easements for utility, easements for water continuity of systems, apologize there. There is a plat that's been prepared and developed for the board review. I do know that the board attorney has been engaged through this process and has reviewed this as well.
So basically what Mr. Barath is also trying to say here is that since it is listed under an action item, we do need for you to vote to approve this plat so that we can move forward with the easement for Duke Energy as well as the city water, and so that we can move forward with the construction of the building.
Madam Chair, I move to approve the plat approval Hope County High School build project.
Second. It's been approved in second for the plat approval for the Hokai Building Project. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, we're gonna, I need someone to make a motion to go into closed session.
Is there kind of verbiage?
Yes.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
Madam Chair, I make a motion to go into closed session for the following reasons: to consider confidential personnel information protected under the North Carolina General Statute 143-31811A1. 3, to consider the initial matter related to initial employment of individual employees pursuant to North Carolina General Statute 143-31811A6, and to consult with the Board of Education attorney and reserve the attorney-client privilege as provided in the North Carolina General Statute 143-311-18A3.
second.